This presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, EMD, DeSanto Propane, Generations Bank, Little John and Barbie Orthodontics, and Sally Miller.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome live inside Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls, New York. 6 days till Christmas, and we've got Tuesday night high school basketball coming at you. Finger Lakes East matchup between the 3-1 Mynderse Academy Blue Devils and the 3-2 Marcus Whitman Wildcats. I'm Jim Sinicropi, sitting courtside with Paul Russo for FingerLakes1.com. And Paul, we've got some winter weather. Don't think it's going to be a white Christmas, but tonight with the cold weather, a little snow on the ground, it feels like high school basketball.
I was about to say, it makes you feel like we're right in that first week of February, getting into that stretch run of things almost. And it's perfect. It's the perfect set between, in my mind, two really evenly matched teams that, and we'll get into this here in a couple minutes, right, that certainly are going to, I'd like to imagine, see each other later on this season once we hit the postseason time and a little bit beyond that. But for a couple of teams that really are probably going to try and figure out where they actually sit in the league, this is a really good barometer test early on in the season.
Tough Finger Lakes East League. Of course, Marcus Whitman, after going independent, winning their first sectional title since 1976 in 2020, moving to the Finger Lakes East for a more competitive schedule, but it does make them the smallest school in the league. Mynderse also one of the smallest schools in the tough Finger Lakes East. But of course, Mynderse traditionally winning the league occasionally. But this year, be a tough task for either one of these teams to come out with the league title, with Wayne having a real strong team. Newark looks good early. Geneva upset. Well, I don't know if it's an upset, but they beat Lions last week. And so, to me, what makes this game interesting is when you come out of the league and look at sectionals, Mynderse is in Class B1. Marcus Whitman's in Class B2. All those teams I just mentioned are in Class A. And when you look at it from a sectional perspective, both Mynderse and Whitman have a strong chance to contend for a sectional title this year. So we're going to give them the eye test here today and see if they look like they're up for it.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things, and for those who don't know, a little bit of a shake-up, like you mentioned, Jim, in classifications, where some of those tweener-type teams at the top of B1 now up in Class A. There's a AAA again this year in Section 5.
Yep.
So that caused a lot of different shakeups towards at least the bigger schools, and that trickles all the way down, right? You look at in B1, for example, Mynderse sitting at second already in the table early on, looking on in the season. For Marcus Whitman in B2, not quite all the way at the top yet. They're in sixth place, but the more important thing for them is they have positive points right now, and there's plenty of time to build in that resume and everything. So, like you mentioned, this is a very good possibility of someone we see that second week of March, that, you know, midweek Tuesday game or whatever it usually ends up being, right? And like we've both been saying, like, this is one of those matchups where if you were to tell me on paper, like, yeah, this is the matchup we'll see, I'm going to believe you 100%.
If both teams were to win a sectional title this year, they would meet in the state play-in game where the B1 champ plays the B2 champ for a chance to go to, this year the boys will be at Buffalo for a chance to go to the state Final Four. So, you know, in an ideal scenario, that's what both these teams are looking for, probably a sectional title over a league title. Sectional titles usually a lot more coveted than league titles. And we're going to see, like I say, if these guys pass the eye test tonight. For Mynderse in Class B1, they're looking at Hornell and Greece Odyssey. And then after that, you have like Penn Yan, Mid Lakes, and Waterloo, Dansville. A Livonia team traditionally strong, but doesn't look too strong this year. In fact, Marcus Whitman beat Livonia 48-44 back on December 5th. And then for Marcus Whitman in Class B2, Leroy, Avon, Rochester Academy, Canasteo Greenwood, Attica. Then you got Williamson, North Rose Wolcott from Wayne County. Wellsville, traditionally a strong power in basketball, 0-4 to start this year in B2. So definitely Mynderse and Whitman will be in the mix, probably a higher seed when it's all said and done heading into sectionals. And tonight will be an interesting look at what we hope could be a bigger game down the road.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be, you know, one of those matchups anyway in years past that typically is always really good anyway. This is a Marcus Whitman team. Obviously, Coach Greg O'Connor, well coached all the way around. They're going to hit you with the fundamentals. They're going to really just grind you down on all facets of the game. And you look at Pat Prain's squad with Mynderse, kind of returning back a little bit to this, I don't know if it's a true run and gun style, but high points on offense so far this year, so it's quite the clash. And, you know, like you mentioned, you know, league stuff, yeah, probably a little bit out of reach, but you never know, it's why you play. At the very least, one of the things that both teams can keep on their mind is you knock out one of those, well, quote-unquote giants at the top, and we see it on paper-wise, obviously. Those are big points that, you know, who knows, maybe it gets you an extra home game in sectional time. Stuff like that really does matter coming down the stretch.
And that is an advantage these guys do have playing in a bigger league, is there's more chance for sectional points if they do beat some of these bigger schools. And, you know, whoever wins tonight, you know, they should be thinking league title still.
Yeah.
So filling in here at Arthur L. Baker, again, we've got about 4 minutes left on the pregame clock. Bleachers on the far side of the court, opposite the benches, only on one side here at Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. Paul and I are in the broadcast booth off the end of the Marcus Whitman bench, just outside the visitors' locker room in the northwest corner of the gymnasium. And a lot of sectional banners hang on this wall. Of course, Mynderse most remembered for their 1992 state championship. They went back to the Final Four in 1994. Most recently, sectional champs in 2017, winning Class B. And before that, 2010, 2011, 2013. 9 sectional titles, I think, in the school history.
Yeah, that puts them 7th all-time, still in Section 5. And, you know, I was lucky to be around those 2010 and 11 teams. Even the 12th team that ended up making a deep run in sectional on the support staff side of things. And, you know, it's one of those things that around here they take great pride in the fact that they have that lineage, right? And it's, you look around and some people kind of wonder, it's like, man, it's really been a while since they actually put another banner up next to there. You have to go back to probably that 96 to 2010 stretch, really, for the longest drought since then. So it's one of those things that they definitely probably have eye on the prize. We go back to it, but eye on the prize this year, more likely, is probably that B1 title.
Yeah, they've come close. Kind of had it stolen from them against North Star Christian in 2021 on a questionable late call against North Star Christian. That was a COVID season.
Yeah.
They played at North Star Christian to boot. 2022, lost in the sectional final against Wellsville in a close game. And last season, lost early, being upset by Penn Yan. But fresh start for this team, and high hopes that maybe they will be hanging a banner at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you look at, you know, last year in particular, certainly not the way they went out. They went in that pre-quarterfinal round even, as you mentioned, against Penn Yan. And I think you were at that game at the Wellsville final a couple years ago, if I recall. That was Webster Schroeder, I think, the gym that night. So, and then you want to look at Whitman here really quick. There's a lot of names. We'll obviously be jumping into that, but a lot of names coming back from last year. I know myself and Nate Sharman were up at Bloomfield last year, and they were able to upset Bloomfield as the lower seed in sectional round. And then they lost back-to-back years against Rochester Academy Charter each time in sectionals at that point. So they certainly are looking to kind of make that next jump. They've gotten to that second round of games the past couple years. They're looking to get over that hump.
Interesting, this Marcus Whitman team in 2020 won the Class C1 title. The next year, really thwarted from winning back-to-back titles by a late half-court shot in Avon and some missed free throws. But that was one of my favorite teams because that team was on a mission since they were probably, you know, in grade school to win the school's first sectional title since 1976. So to see them do that and pull that off, it was really something special. And as they were doing that, there were a couple youngsters, a couple younger brothers from some key players on that team who now are trying to get Marcus Whitman back to the sectional finals and maybe win another one of their own. And that would be Brody Royston, the younger brother of Aiden Royston, and Miles Prendergrass, the younger brother of Liam Prendergrass from that 2020 team. So certainly all in the family. That's one of the things we love about high school basketball. And we're getting ready now for the opening announcements. Mynderse Athletic Director Kevin Korzenetsky usually does the honors here at Mynderse, but he is not feeling well tonight, so I'm not sure who they have on the mic. But we're getting ready for the national anthem. That means we're going to step aside. When we get back, it'll be just about time for opening lineups and basketball.
Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD. Visit them online at canandaiguadentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. Generations Bank. Generations Bank, serving our communities since 1870. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com. Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Order online at cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. DeSanto Propane. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Rosselli Northern, supporting local construction since 1929 with premium products and quality service. Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD. Visit them online at canandaiguadentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. Generations Bank. Generations Bank, serving our communities since 1870. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
And welcome back inside Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls, New York, on the campus of Mynderse Academy. It's high school basketball here on FingerLakes1.com. Mynderse Academy taking on Marcus Whitman, boys varsity basketball matchup. Jim Sinicropi sitting alongside Paul Russo for FingerLakes1.com. Starting lineups being announced, and for the Marcus Whitman Wildcats, it'll be Logan Storms, a junior. Malcolm Blue Eye, a senior, which we mentioned, Royston and Pendergrass. Well, Dakota Blue Eye also on that roster in 2020 that won the sectional title. Now the JV coach, his younger brother Malcolm, his other brother Tariku Blue Eye out for the season, or likely out for the season with an injury. Miles Pendergrass, junior, Brody Royston, junior, and Braden Amadeo, a junior, starting for Marcus Whitman. For the Blue Devils, you got Anthony Luffman, a junior. Jake Prane, son of Miners head coach Pat Prane. He's a senior. Dylan Tandle, also a senior. Griffin Hillmeyer, a junior, and Alan Plummer, a junior. Big guy in the middle for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, this is it's going to be quite the battle, I think. Well, if you look at it from the classic five-spot matchup between Prendergast and Plummer, you know, Alan's a multi-sport athlete. I remember him from baseball side of things as well, so it's going to be really interesting there. But that, you know, this is a Whitman team too that pretty much that's the starting five they also had last year. You know, Terrico Blue Eye was in the starting lineup last year, but obviously, you know, missing extended time, possibly even longer than that. Unfortunately, they have to swap him in and out. But you know, we talk about the continuity of Minders, for example, in the Upstate Whips podcast. Well, this Whitman team also has a lot of continuity in that starting lineup.
Okay, Jordan Mullen and James Hawkins, your referees. Mullen about ready to throw it up. You got Hillmeyer and Prendergrass in the center court. Minders coming at us from our vantage point here in the northwest corner of the gym. Minders in their home whites, red and blue trim. Mynderse Academy in strip with the player number in between. And Whitman controls. Whitman in their home blues, gray stripe down the side, yellow lettering, and we are underway as the ball goes up top to Blue Eye, and they swing it inside out to Pendergrass, tries to dump it out to Amadeo. Amadeo now gets it back, takes a baseline jumper. It's short, pulled in by Plummer. Bounce pass out to Hillmeyer. Here come the Blue Devils. Up ahead to Prane on the far side. Back to Hillmeyer, top of the key. Surveys the defense, and Mynderse looks to get set up as Hillmeyer almost turns it over off the entry pass to Plummer off the leg of Brody Royston.
Yeah, Royston came over, really good help side defense to poke the ball away.
Now here comes Hillmeyer. Kicking it far side to Luffman now. Down in the block to Plummer, one dribble, up and over Pendergrass, but short. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds, going the other way to Whitman. 7:11 to go here early. No score. Jim Sinicropi, Paul Russo, glad you could be with us on a Tuesday night for some high school basketball. Hope you've got your Christmas shopping done. The clock is ticking on that with just 6 days to go as Whitman gets to work against, looks like an extended 3-2 zone for Mynderse.
Yeah, definitely looks like they're running the three guards up top.
And so it's Blue Eye, top of the key, gets it to the corner to Storms. Storms now, bounce pass, and a shovel pass from Royston to Pendergrass, but he misses a chippy. Offensive rebound, Whitman. Back out top, it comes to Storms, into the corner to Royston. Royston lets one fly from three, and nothing but the bottom of the net, and we're underway here. 3-0 Whitman.
Just a great job working the ball around. Second chance opportunity, but didn't rush any of the shots. They waited for their shot, and Royston able to connect from the corner.
Whitman in man-to-man defense as Hillmeyer crosses the timeline, gets it up to Prane. Prane out top to Luffman. Luffman drives, rejected by Pendergrass. Prane comes up with the rebound, though, and Mynderse keeps possession with 18 to shoot. Prane turns it over. It's Amadeo on the strip, going the other way. Kiss off the glass, 5-0 Whitman.
There's that Whitman defense that's shown up here the first half of the year, making a difference right away.
Hillmeyer almost loses it again, and he does. As on the floor goes Royston, up ahead to Pendergrass. Tries to slam it down with the right hand, but it's off the back iron and out of bounds.
I tell you what, this place, especially the Whitman side of the stands, would have gone nuts. The bench about lost it as well.
Man, he went hard, and it looked like he was going to try to slam it, and he did get high enough, but just off the back iron as Coach O'Connor gives us the look over here as we're at the end of the Marcus Whitman bench. Backdoor cut by Hillmeyer, but Tandle led him a little too much out of bounds. Another turnover for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, somebody tells me Coach O'Connor would have just preferred a layup in that scenario.
So Pendergrass showing some jump as Whitman gets back to it, and a pull-up jumper from Royston is off the back iron. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds on the baseline, going back to Mynderse, who still hasn't scored. 5:18 here in the first period, 5-0 Wildcats. Hillmeyer up ahead to Prane, and we have a whistle.
And something about the clock.
Yeah, shot clock didn't start.
Yeah.
James Hawkins stopped play. I don't think the shot clock or game clock started, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Still says 5:18.
Yeah.
So they'll figure that out and give me a chance to tell you about some other games around the area tonight. It is a big night in the Finger Lakes East, so everybody in action. Here you got Mynderse Whitman across town at Waterloo. Wayne, many of the favorites to win the Finger Lakes East, could potentially back from Orlando, where they played 3 games, taking on Waterloo. Geneva's at Palmac. That'll be a good one. And Newark at Mid-Lakes. As we have a whistle now, as we're going to have our first foul of the game. Looks like it's going to go on Logan Storms.
I believe that.
Actually, they didn't. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Fouls on Storms. Inbound to Prane, guarded tightly by Amadeo. Kicks it out to Luffman. Pump fake inside the arc. Tries a jumper. Rattles in and out. Hauled in by Royston. Way up ahead. Quickly to Blue Eye. It's blocked by Luffman.
That's just a great job by Luffman. First off, it was a great look by him down here. He actually had to get control of the ball back, able to get a good look. But the way to keep his head in the game, get down there with a huge block and a big defensive stop for the Blue Devils there.
So now from their baseline, Whitman inbounds, gets it to the corner, 3-ball on the way, well short. That was an air ball from Royston, hauled in by Mynderse. Up ahead it goes. Tandle, top of the key. Foul line now, dribbling, gets it out to Hillmeyer. Hillmeyer guarded closely by Royston. It goes to Prane now. Prane dribbles right side, leaves it off for Plummer. Into the lane, leans in with his body, and a foul.
Yeah, they'll get Prendergast with a bit of a body check on that one as Plummer was coming in.
So they're not going to give him the shot, saying it was on the ground, so it'll be Hillmeyer underneath his own basket, inbounding with 4:33 to go here. Mynderse still looking for their first bucket. Also in action tonight in the West, Honeoye at HAC, South Seneca Romulus at Naples, Penyan at Bloomfield. Mynderse gets it in. Pranes in the nose.
Yeah, a bit of an inadvertent thing there as he was just going up court, like running process, obviously, and just kind of got him.
So now Whitman looks to extend the lead. Mynderse has had some slow starts this season. Been a better second half team, but they're digging themselves a little bit of hole here if Whitman can find some continuity on offense. Into the corner it goes to Storms. He drives, kicks it out to Royston, squares up, 3-ball on the way. Excuse me, that was Amadeo. It was an air ball. Now Royston with a rebound, gets it blocked. Hillmeyer up ahead to Luffman. Luffman out of control, kind of fading away. He'll head to the free throw line, as that might have been the second foul on Miles Prendergast.
I believe it's going against Amadeo, I believe. I thought I saw 3 raised, and it is against Amadeo.
It is on Amadeo. So 1 foul on Amadeo, Prendergast, and Storms, and Mynderse finally on the board as Anthony Luffman knocks down a free throw. And we have our first sub of the game, and that would be Jack Brady checking in for Dylan Tandle. Jack, the son of John Brady, who played varsity basketball here at Mynderse in 1988 and 89. They lived in Fairport, moved to town, back to town this summer as Luffman makes the second. And now Jack.
Oh, big turnover.
As Prane tries to maintain control around midcourt, but loses it. And now a dish off from Royston to Amadeo, who misses the left-handed layup. Now he's boxed in and a foul as he went back up. They better not give that to Plummer, who was standing straight up and down. I think it might have been.
They're going to get Plummer on it.
I thought the foul came from the other side because Plummer had pretty good position.
The only thought on that is if he was kind of shifting underneath. It's kind of the call that we've seen the past 5 years get really picked up. So maybe that was what happened there.
So first free throw good by Royston. He's got 4 points now. Is 6-2 the score. Second free throw good. So some good free throw shooting here in Mynderse as we're each team 2 for 2 to start the game as Prane dribbles with the left hand across the timeline. He was really guarded closely by Amadeo, and now Braden Amadeo picks up his second foul. And he'll likely check out of the game as Caden Smith is up off the bench for Coach O'Connor.
Yep, short order there. Smith in.
Caden Smith, a junior. This is a roster full of juniors. Malcolm Blue Eye, the only senior on the squad as Mynderse gets back to work. Luffman drives baseline against Blue Eye and gets it to go off the glass, and he's fouled.
That's a great job there by Luffman. Worked baseline, able to keep control, and this is a big spire. Gets you back within, a true one-possession game if you're able to convert 3 points the hard way.
Whitman not able to take advantage of that slow offensive start from Mynderse and build on that lead as Luffman makes it 3 for 3 from the line. He's got all of Mynderse 5 points as we are just under 3 minutes now. 7-4 Whitman here in the first quarter is Royston. Surveys the defense, top of the key. Mynderse in man-to-man. It's Storms now, top of the key. Dribbling with the right hand, kicks it to the wing to Smith. Now it's Pendergrass in the corner. Whips it up top to Blue Eye. They reverse it as Royston looks to drive. Takes a couple of steps, runs into Plummer. The bucket goes in off the glass. They're going to count it. Seems like a little continuation there. And now Alan Plummer picks up his second foul. That'll get Rocco Palladino up off the bench.
Yeah, the tough part for Plummer there was he just got over 2-8. It's not like he did anything to really affect the shot necessarily, but the contact came just way too late in the process.
Royston free throw is in and out. We got our first missed free throw of the game, pulled in by Hillmeyer. Here comes Griffin Hillmeyer dribbling with the right hand, Leaves it off for Jake Prain, top of the key, looks to drive. He stumbles, gets it to Palladino, and we have a foul. So with 2:27 to go, it's 9-5 Whitman. And we're waiting to see who they tagged with that foul. Pendergrass was involved.
Yeah.
As Jake Prain heads to the line, and nope, they give it to Blue Eye, so that's a relief for Coach O'Connor. As we got a timeout on the floor with 2:27 to go here in the first period. Mind you that our great coverage of high school basketball here is made possible by Generations Bank, serving our community since 1870, member FDIC and equal housing lender. DeSanto Propane, serving upstate New York homeowners and businesses since 1937. Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz are proud to support our area high school athletes. Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. It's the Cicino's way. Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD, Canandaigua's hometown dentist for more than 30 years. And Rosselli Northern, supporting local construction since 1929 with premium products and quality service. So out of the timeout we come, Paul. Jake Prain heading to the line. Foul situations are different this year in boys basketball, if you want to explain that. They're going to what the girls do. Yeah,
so they're going to where it's 5 team fouls in a quarter. You're going to the line as Prain misses the front end of the 2. So this is a rule that's been in girls basketball now for a number of years, and they brought it over to the boys side, I think. So 5 team fouls a quarter. Finds yourself in the double bonus, what we would have known as with the 2 shots.
Prain makes the second one, so if it was last year, that would have been a 1-on-1, and Prain wouldn't have gotten the second attempt. So 6-9 now. Whitman with the lead and the basketball. It comes to Logan Storms, gets it down the block to Pendergrass. He spins against Palladino, but Palladino with the block. Here comes the Blue Devils. Prain, top of the key, picks up his dribble, swings it to Luffman. Luffman looks for Hillmeyer on the block. Now they reset. Back to Prain up top with the hot pink shoes. Into the corner goes Brady for 3. In and out. And corralled by Pendergrass.
Mynderse definitely has had better offensive possessions here in the past few minutes. Kind of matching what Whitman did at the start here. So let's see if it translates over to getting some shots finally to fall.
Storms now on the reversal. All the way it goes to Smith. They find Pendergrass top of the key. He squares up. He shoots and he buries it. Miles Pendergrass on the board. 12-6 Whitman as Jack Brady mans the point duties. Leaves it off for Prain. He squares up and shoots from the top of the key, and it's off the front iron and into the hands of Logan Storms. As Storms across the timeline leaves it for Royston. Cutter in Blue Eye doesn't get the ball, so it comes back out top to Storms. Pendergrass quickly down low to Smith, who tries a turnaround off the glass, no good. Skying in for the rebound is Brady. He outlets to Prain. Bounce pass to Hillmeyer, reversal to Brady. Brady squares up for 3. Swish! I think his foot was on the line, though, right in front of the Marcus Whitman bench. So just 2 for Jack Brady, and it's 12-8.
Really great job. I mean, quick release and got up just in the nick of time.
Double team in the corner. Now out to Pendergrass. Gets it back to the corner for Royston. Now an elbow jumper after a couple dribbles. Finds the bottom for Brody Royston, who's having a big first quarter. 9 points. Quickly the other way. Prain to the basket. A lot of contact and a whistle. Pendergrass helps up Prain. And
Royston with the block on that one.
Okay, so now everybody's got a foul for Whitman. Braden Amadeo with 2. Royston, Pendergrass, Blue Eye, and Storms with 1 apiece. And Prain back to the free throw line. Shooting 2. With the Blue Devils down 6. First shot up and out.
I'm not going to say it yet, but we have a traditional line of mine that's probably going to be brewing for some time in the second quarter, I'd say, at this rate.
Second attempt is good. So Prain now 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Pulls the Blue Devils back to within 5. Now 18 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot clock's off. Whitman will likely hold for 1 as Royston kicks it to the left to Storms, who drives baseline. Now with 7 seconds, Blue Eye throws it away. Here comes Brady the other way. He lays it off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Blue Eye, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play here in Seneca Falls. Your score, Whitman 14, Mynderse 9. We'll be right back with second quarter action here. It's Finger Lakes East basketball on fingerlakes1.com.
Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Order online at cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. DeSanto Propane. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Rosselli Northern, supporting local construction since 1929 with premium products and quality service.
And welcome back inside the comfy, cozy confines of Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium here on a chilly winter night. It's supposed to be warming up, so you fans of a white Christmas are going to be disappointed. But great night for high school basketball. Gym mostly full. The Mynderse side full to capacity. The Whitman side, there's some empty seats. But Paul, first quarter action here. Mynderse falls behind by 5. Struggled to score for most of the quarter, especially right out the gate, but lucky maybe to be within 5.
Yeah, it's something that we just touched on really quick off air, but it's definitely, I think we both agree, right? I mean, it says 5 on the scoreboard, the differential, but it kind of feels a little bit maybe wider than that. Like, Mynderse definitely struggling to, I'd say, 1, capitalize on whatever opportunities they're able to get, but 2, you know, it took them a little bit deep into that quarter for my personal liking to kind of get in that groove, you know, find themselves not making the risky pass, but making the right pass at the right time.
So Mynderse starts with the basketball. It'll be Prane, Luffman, Palladino, Hillmeyer, and Brady. Inside to the block to a wide open Hillmeyer, who tried a right-handed hook and missed, but bailed out by referee James Hawkins with a foul after the shot. Well, they're going to let him shoot free throws, and that's going to be 2 on Pendergrass. So that'll bring Braden Amadeo, who also has 2 fouls, up off the bench. Oh, no, you know what? They gave it to Blue Eye.
Yeah, that's Blue Eye's
Coach
third.
O'Connor was surprised. So, yeah, Blue Eye to check out. Braden Amadeo to check back in. He's got 2 fouls of his own, and
yeah, it was
not a deep bench for Whitman here.
No, it was one of those fouls where I thought it was a foul, but one of those you called it really late, admittedly.
Hillmeyer knocks down both free throws. And now it's 14-11 as Whitman gets back to work. Again, moving away from us in our vantage point here in the corner off the end of the Whitman bench. A little backdoor cut and a shovel to Pendergrass. And now it's out to Smith and back to Amadeo, working around the perimeter as Storms probes the top of the defense. Kicks to the corner to Smith, 9 to shoot. He dumps it into Pendergrass. Back out to Storms in the corner for 3, and he buries it. Logan Storms on the board, the 4th Wildcat to score, 17-11.
That guy, the third of the big 3 between himself, Royston, and Prendergrass there, and good shot there and way to make the extra pass.
Luffman drives, kicks to Palladino, baseline jumper from about 12 feet, no good. Luffman skies in, pump fake, puts it back up and in.
Just hung tough on that one, Luffman did. Excellent little fake there, by the way. It looked like he was going to come back out there, but instead opted for a little baby jump hook on that one and worked out perfectly.
7 points for Luffman. Mynderse back to within 4 as Royston picks up his dribble and finds Storms on the wing, guarded man-to-man by Hillmeyer, backs him in and pulls up from about 8 feet, misses the shot, hauled in by Prane. Here comes Prane. He had Hillmeyer for a second cutting. Now they kick it out to Luffman and find Hillmeyer open for 3 in the corner. Back iron, no good. And that's a kind of foul that Coach Prane's not going to enjoy. Whitman got the rebound. It was Storms and then a reach in by Hillmeyer. That's one of the hardest things to do for a high school player is after the defensive rebound secured, just to get back and play defense and not try to.
Yeah, Storms also gets away with a little bit of the cardinal sin of rebounding by bringing the ball low right away. So not ideal any way around, but Whitman coming back here with the possession.
And it's Royston, top of the key, guarded by Luffman, kicks it to Pendergrass on the wing. He tries to throw it inside to Royston, who was cutting over his head, out of bounds against the wall, back to Mynderse with 6:04 to go here, second period.
Right idea, just a bit too high, and almost looked like Royston wasn't quite ready for that pass yet either, so this ended up being a bit of a yard sale pass.
Hillmeyer bringing it up. His brother Ethan was also point guard for the Blue Devils. As Praying drives, kicks it to Luffman. Luffman probes the baseline, kicks it out to Hillmeyer. Now inside to Brady, quick turnaround, and he hits. Boy, young Jack Brady, not afraid to pull the trigger.
Yeah, he got that ball right away, knew what he was doing. Nice little fadeaway jumper, create some space, and just true through the net.
4 points for Brady. Mynderse pulls to within 2. It's the closest they've been since early first quarter. And now Whitman working against that man-to-man defense. It's Royston guarded by Palladino working off a Pendergrass pick, and it's knocked away by Luffman. It'll stay with Whitman, 15 seconds to shoot.
Yeah, Royston lucky there that was just a swat away there by Luffman because he left that thing out on a platter.
Now the inbounds goes to Storms, left-hand dribble to the elbow, kicks it to the corner to Royston. Royston step back, jumper, air ball. Excuse me, that was Amadeo with a miss. And now here comes Hillmeyer quickly up ahead to Palladino. Back to Hillmeyer, looks to drive, leaves it off for Palladino again, who steps back for a long two-pointer, and he hits it.
So that's now a couple different times we've seen Mynderse hit those long-distance twos, but Palladino extending the range on that one, gave him a little bit of space, so why not take it?
I think that was the kind of shot that Coach Brain was like, no, no, no. Yeah, good shot.
Yeah.
So here comes Whitman now tied up with the Blue Devils, and Royston drove right side, and we got a whistle.
Yeah, they were getting Praying with a block foul on that. Or no, they actually charged it to Luffman on that one, so Luffman picks up the foul.
So that's the first Blue Devil to pick up a personal foul outside of Alan Plummer, who remains on the bench with 2. And it will be Whitman ball underneath the basket. They kick it out, work it around the top of the key, and then Royston ends up with it on the far side wing, and now he backs it up, guarded by Luffman. Kicks it to Storms, drives right side, kicks it out to the corner. As Palladino skied in for the block, and Braden Amadeo kept his composure, stepped in and hit a 10-foot jumper as Brady drives baseline, a little too strong, put back by Hillmeyer, no good, and into the hands of Royston.
Bit of a hectic possession there by Mynderse. I kind of get it. They had a little bit of a number advantage for a moment, but oh, nice little poke away by Luffman.
Here comes Anthony Luffman. Pendergrass, though, got back and made him think twice about going up, so they kick it back out. Palladino now to the corner to Luffman, who works against Royston. Now Brady with a baseball press across the top to Hillmeyer with a left-handed floater, and Coach O'Connor wants to talk it over. Timeout on the floor, 19-19.
Just a nice kind of possession there by Mynderse, able to capitalize off the defensive steal there by Luffman, especially coming off like I was going to talk about there, just a bit of a questionable offensive kind of possession there. They had numbers for a moment, but the second they didn't, they kind of just kept the foot to the pedal there and ended up throwing up a couple tough interior shots, but all's well that ends well. Tied back up here at 19 as the Wildcats take a full timeout.
3:43 to go here in the second, and mentioned Rocco Palladino knocking down that jumper. His sister Sophie Palladino with a buzzer-beating layup against, I think, was School of the Arts.
No, it's Greece Athena / Odyssey.
Yep, on a nice inbounds play. Pass from Lauren McDermott for the Lady Blue Devils, picking up a win last week here at Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. And another interesting thing about Rocco Palladino is he's a year younger, and he was a junior, but he did enough coursework to actually become a senior now as a junior, so this is his senior year, even though he technically, age-wise, would be a junior, but he'll graduate with his sister Sophie and on to bigger and better things.
How about that?
Logan Storms now controls top of the key as they reverse it to Amadeo, who finds Pendergrass in the corner. Luffman reaches in, and Griffin Hillmeyer with the steal, going coast to coast with a left hand, lays it off the glass. Might have been a goaltend. He missed it, rebounded by Luffman. He misses the putback, and Pendergrass pulls it in. It looked like somebody bothered the net in the rim on that shot by Hillmeyer.
Yeah, that was too close for comfort for, I'd say, Whitman there, and I don't know. It's close. I'm happy that we have the job of just talking about the game.
19-19, 3 minutes to go in the half. Whitman Back to work. Pendergrass takes a jumper. It's too strong from about 17 feet. Rebound. Battled for by Mynderse, and they lose it. And it goes to Amadeo, who lays it in.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was, but I know Brady and I believe it might have been Palladino, both going for about the same time, and that's the reason why it ends up in Amadeo's hands.
Luffman tries to drive baseline, muscles one up. It's an air ball, too strong, looking for the foul, doesn't get it. And with 2:30 to go, Whitman up 2. Coach O'Connor wants him to slow it down as Royston brings it across the center circle, and stolen by Luffman. He finds Brady streaking for the open layup. All tied up at 21.
That's a great job there by Luffman on defense once again, able to capitalize. That time did a really good job of recognizing a cutting Brady coming over, and now just not a smart foul there by him on the reach-in, unfortunately.
And that's going to bring Dylan Tandle up back off the bench as Luffman takes a seat with his second foul. Of course, really great job by Luffman defensively, and then a great job by Jack Brady getting down court so Luffman could find him. Jack Brady getting a little overzealous. Skies in the air, comes down in the back of Pendergrass, and he goes down hard, but he's back up.
Yeah, there we'll get him. It's nobody on the floor, which luckily I think for both him and Pendergrass there, because Miles was in the air. That's one of those ones where you hold your breath even more so than we already kind of were there.
So they got to give Brady the foul there. They do, and that's his fourth team foul. And off the inbounds pass, Pendergrass misses one point blank, and quickly the other way. Prain tried to find Brady with a bounce pass, but it wasn't there. Intercepted by Whitman. Here comes Storms. Kicks to the corner. Now out to Pendergrass. A little pump fake, and he traveled before the drive. And a lot of turnovers here in Seneca Falls tonight.
Yeah, this isn't something I think either team is exactly accustomed to, right? It's just the kind of the basics, right? I mean, Pendergrass and that one just didn't dribble the ball before he got going. That's just a rarity from him.
Prey now with the ball top of the key, surveying the defense, drives into the lane, pulls up from just inside the foul line, and knocks it down. Prain's first field goal, 4 points on the game. Mynder's first lead comes with 1:30 to go here, second quarter. 23-21. Whitman back to work now. It's Royston, guarded by Tandle. Working off a Pendergrass pick. Pulls up, tries a jumper, rims out, pulled in by Hillmeyer. Here comes Griffin behind the back, top of the key, drives, finds Palladino, baseline jumper, swish! Just inside the arc. 4 for Palladino. Biggest lead of the game for Mynderse. They're up 4. We're inside 1 minute.
Maybe he's got a little bit more range than we anticipated.
DeSanto Propane halftime show coming up after the break here at the end of the second quarter as Royston takes a baseline with the kiss and the foul. It's going to be the first team foul, our first foul on Jake Prain, I believe. And Royston will head to the free throw line. Royston with 9 points in the first quarter. That was his first points of the second quarter, coming with 48 seconds to go. He'll head to the free throw line to complete the three-point play, pull Whitman within 1.
This has definitely just been a better all-around quarter for the Blue Devils, and good defense leading to good offense for them, as Royston unable to connect for the N1.
Boy, Tandle grabbed the rebound and stood there like he thought there was going to be another free throw. And now kind of a silly foul by Caden Smith about near midcourt. And we got another sub for Whitman as Aiden Clark checks in and Ameo takes a seat.
Yeah, this is just probably going to be one of those deals where you just get a couple extra minutes of break time here heading into half.
41 seconds to go, 25-23, Blue Devils lead with the ball. Jack Brady inbounding on the far side, gets it into Prain. Dribbling with the left hand, bounce back to Brady on the wing. Up top to Prain, tries a 3-ball, yes!
There we go, now Prain starting to feel himself a little bit here on offense. He's put up a couple 21-point games this year, and maybe he's trending into that direction again. 5-point
lead for Mynderse as it's Royston taking it to the basket on the other end, and another foul called, and that'll be free throws for Royston, as that's the 15th foul for the Blue Devils. So 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, there we'll get Jack Brady on that one. I know he's kind of wondering there since he was the one who ended up on the ground. But again, a little bit of a case of just got to the spot too late as Royston was cutting through.
Royston knocks down the first one after missing his last 2 free throw attempts. And that's a second foul on Brady, who definitely plays hard. Second free throw by Royston, good. Mynderse will have 20 seconds. Shot clock off. Coach Prain, I'm sure, would like him to hold for one. He calls a timeout just to talk it over. They take a 3-point lead into the timeout here and going to try to add to it. But, you know, this is something in high school basketball, Paul, like, they want the last shot. But how many times do you see somebody just get a little excited and next thing you know, a 3-point lead could be a 1-point lead?
Yeah, especially in the case of Mynderse here, right? We know that they kind of prefer moving at that quicker clip, so it's hard for a team to really slow down the situation. 16.5 seconds here. I mean, I'm kind of with you a little bit. I think I might want to hold for that last shot, but in the situation with Mynderse, I think if they find themselves in the flow, they got to. I would assume that they just got to put up the shot as long as it looks good enough.
Well, I think once you get in 5 seconds, maybe you take a shot. But you want to go into halftime now with a 3-point lead or better.
Yeah.
Anything other than that would be a mistake as Brady set to inbound now out of the timeout. 16 seconds left into Prain in the backcourt. And he's in no hurry as a Whitman in a 2-3 zone. Palladino on the wing with 7 seconds down to Hillmeyer, and he traveled.
Yeah.
Tried to make a baseline move. He had a step on him, but now with 6 seconds left, Whitman will have one more chance.
Yeah, the now defunct crab dribble is what he tried to do there.
Clark rolls it into Royston, who dribbles past Handel to the hoop and can't get the kiss. Rebounded by Jack Brady, and that'll do it for the first half of play with a score. Mynderse 28, Marcus Whitman 25. We'll be back with the DeSanto Propane halftime show here on FingerLakes1.com.
This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Visit Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant at their original Waterloo location or all-new renovated location in Geneva. Dine in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at Cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD. Dr. Jeffrey Halstead has been Canandaigua's hometown dentist for more than 35 years, offering routine dental care as well as cosmetic dentistry, implants, and dentures by their highly trained and experienced staff. Visit them online at CanandaiguaDentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. DeSanto Propane. DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Generations Bank. Generations Bank has been serving the financial needs of the Finger Lakes region since 1870. Generations combines the best of modern banking with the dedication to our local communities. Whether you are looking for a checking account, CDs, a home improvement loan, you name it, we have what you need. We are committed to serving and giving back to our communities. Visit us at mygenbank.com. Littlejohn and Barbie Orthodontics. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com. And Rosselli Northern. Rosselli Northern supports upstate New York construction with over 400 employees, 250 trucks, 9 ready-mix plants, 4 blacktop plants, 100 plus pieces of heavy equipment, and 40 aggregate mines. But their most important number is your bottom line. Contact Rosselli today at 315-433-5115 and see why Rosselli Northern has been the choice for contractors and project managers since 1929.
And welcome back live to Seneca Falls, New York, where at halftime the score is Mynderse 28, Whitman 25. The Finger Lakes East showdown here prior to Christmas break. Jim Sinicropi and Paul Russo, glad to have you along. It's the DeSanto Propane halftime show. I'll quickly run through the first half scoring for Marcus Whitman. They jumped out to a 14-9 lead after one. Mynderse not getting their first bucket till inside 5 minutes to go, or actually inside 4 minutes to go in the quarter. I think they finally got on the board. But then came storming back in the second half, outscoring Whitman 19-11 to take a 28-25 lead. For Whitman, it was Brody Royston handling the bulk of the work on offense, finishing with 13 points, including 4 of 6 from the free throw line and 1 3-pointer. Braden Amadeo with 6, Miles Prendergrass with an early 3-pointer, and Logan Storms with a second quarter 3-pointer. Foul trouble, a bit of an issue for Marcus Whitman as well. Malcolmu Blue Eye with 3, Amadeo with 2. And for the Mynderse Blue Devils, it was more of a balanced attack with Anthony Luffman and Jake Prain leading the way with 7 apiece. Jack Brady with 6, Griffin Hillmeyer with 4 all in the second quarter, and Rocco Palladino with 4 all in the second quarter. Mynderse starting big man Alan Plummer wearing number 44, 2 early fouls, and he was on the bench for the rest of the first half. We'll probably see him come out to start the third, Paul, but pretty entertaining game, pretty sloppy, as is the case sometimes with these early season high school basketball games.
Yeah, just a little bit, I'd say, but both teams at different points kind of found their grooves, or I guess different ways to try and capitalize, right? For Marcus Whitman, it came initially early on. I thought they did a really great job kind of finding people, getting the right pass, making the extra pass, and taking good shots. Unfortunately, the second quarter for them, really rough in that regard. There was, I wouldn't say a lot of singular ball being played necessarily, but a lot more, I would say, ambitious attempts that more than likely probably wouldn't fall on a given opportunity. Whereas for Mynderse, you know, that first half, or the first part of the first quarter really specifically, just didn't do a good job at distribution and getting those good looks. Also on defense, didn't do a great job. But really, as you mentioned, kind of once they got their first bucket there at about the 5-minute to break mark, they finally kind of, it just reversed a little bit. And we've now seen them be way more aggressive on the attack in terms of when they get down into the block, they're looking at A, the layup, but B, as we noticed there, especially towards the back end of the second quarter, looking for somebody else on the baseline. I mean, Rocco Palladino had a really great jump shot here on the baseline, for example, right in front of the booth here, that, you know, I think, you know, if they were to continue doing that, I think it's going to be there more times than not, because Whitman's doing a lot of collapsing down low into the block at the moment. And, you know, that's something that they kind of steered away from, unfortunately, as the first half kind of progressed. So I think that's one of the things that Coach O'Connor is probably talking about in the locker room right now. You know, defensively, pick it back up a little bit, get back to getting those good looks. Because, look, we're so well in this. It's only a 3-point game. We talked about coming out of the first quarter how, you know, for Mynderse, it felt like that deficit of 5 was maybe a little bit more wider than it actually was, but they came right back right away and improved otherwise.
And impressed with the intensity on defense by both teams. Sometimes maybe a little overzealous with a few players in early foul trouble here. But which has led to some of the sloppiness. Both teams also looking to get out and run. I mean, one of the highlights of the first half was maybe a play that wasn't finished by Pendergrass when he skied up for a dunk on a fast break, threw it down hard with the right hand, off the back iron, and into the Mynderse bench.
Yeah, and, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, flip it over to the defense side. Miles had a huge block, and then Anthony Luffman answered back at the other end with an equally as huge one himself. So, you know, we definitely have had those punctuation-style plays in the half, in addition to, unfortunately, it's been a bit of a rough go of things, no matter which way you want to slice it.
Another first-half highlight for Mynderse was with Luffman getting a steal from Royston, dribbling up the right side and finding a streaking Jack Brady on the left side for a bounce pass layup. So both teams, like I say, looking to get out into transition, makes for some exciting basketball, but we got a good one here. We got about 2.5 minutes here on the halftime clock, and again, if you're just joining us, Mynderse leads 28-25. So far for the Blue Devils this season, they opened up with a win against South Seneca, defeated Red Creek, lost to Pell Mac by 14 in Pelmac, and then bounce back with a win against School of the Arts. So School of the Arts, good test for Mynderse. Pelmac, obviously a good test. But I think coming into this game, I think most Mynderse fans think that this is a game that they probably should win. And they're going to need it because coming up, again, before Christmas, just a couple days from now on Thursday, they will be at the Rose City taking on Newark. So definitely important for them to get the win here, protect this three-point lead, expand on it in the second half. For Whitman, they played a tough schedule. They opened up against Lions, played them tough, only lost by 14 to an athletic Lions team, a Class C team in Lions, but they were on the road for that one. Then actually on the road for the first 4 games, a win against Dansville, which is a team that's in Class B1 with Mynderse. They beat them by 10. A win against Livonia, a Class B1 team with Mynderse, 48-44. And then they lost to Wayne, tough way to start your league, 51-32. And then they come back with a win against Batavia. That's a Class A school, traditionally a strong program, a 46-23 win there. So Whitman's 3-2. After tonight, they will be back in action on Friday night at home against Waterloo, and then they'll take a long Christmas break coming back on January 3rd to host Livonia for the second time this season.
Yeah, the Wildcats a bit of a road warrior. I mean, even then, that home game against Batavia, not quite too far away. That was over at FLCC that game was played, but they have yet to be inside the Tipoff Gymnasium over there. So
they were nicely renovated.
Right, yeah. I mean, so I bet you
Tipoff
they're really looking forward to Friday night, getting in to their own home gym for their first true home game of the year.
And just 3 days before Christmas, a lot of the college kids and alumni back in town, a lot of family probably in town. So that should be a nice scene on Friday night as we're getting about ready to get back underway here. But, big game for both teams here. See who comes out here in the second half. As I said, I think it's almost a bigger game for Mynderse being at home, taking this 3-point lead into halftime after falling behind 5-0 to start the game. Taking that 3-point lead into halftime. Blue Devils fans looking to see if they can bring home the win as we get back underway. It looks like starting lineups for both teams. Marcus Whitman starts with the ball. Now they're moving towards us here in our vantage point just at the end of the Whitman bench outside the visitors' locker room. And for Mynderse, Plummer back in, starters back in for both teams. Is Logan Storms up top to Royston. They're playing catch now with 13 to shoot. Royston swings it to Storms. He drives, leaves it off for Pendergrass. Back out top to Royston with 6 to shoot. He drives to the corner. It goes to Amadeo. 3 seconds to shoot. Step back jumper from Royston. No good. Skying for the rebounds. Hillmeyer, but he turned around, dribbled up court, lost it. Plummer on the ground, though, saves it. Praying wide open for 3, back iron, no good. Luffman skies for the rebound. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with Mynderse. So great hustle play by Plummer. He should be rested after spending much of the first half on the bench with those 2 fouls.
High risk, high reward, and it turned out to be the high reward element of it because in that position, the way he was, he could have picked up a 3rd foul very easily there, but just a great job by him. It looks like Pendergrass got dinged up here possibly.
So Andrew Meister, Mynderse trainer, coming over to see if he needs any tending to, but he's heading back.
Looks like he got hit maybe somewhere in the mouth area, kind of looking at like the lip there for a minute, but probably just making sure no blood or anything like that, and back at it.
Mynderse inbounds now. Luffman top of the keys out there with Plummer, Tandle, Prane, and Hillmeyer. Prane now with it, working off a Luffman pick, top of the key. Blue Eye all over him, though, as he tries to drive by him. He now penetrates, kicks to Tandle. Tandle squares up and picks up his dribble, skips it to Prane in the corner. Now baseline drive by Prane. Reverse layup is rejected by Pendergrass, who pulls it down and now kicks it out, and it's thrown away. Royston with a turnover. Luffman the other way. A little acrobatic out of control shot, hard off the backboard, and now Pendergrass helps him up, and they exchange some pleasantries, I think, as Luffman heads to the free throw line.
Yeah, Pendergrass kind of saved him from being truly on the ground there, it looked like. But Royston gets the foul there, his second. Just not a great one to open up the 3rd quarter for the Wildcats.
Luffman cracks open the second half, scoring with a free throw. He's now 4 for 4 from the line. He's got 8 and a 4-point lead for Mynderse. Try to make it 5, and that's back iron, no good. Rebounded, though, offensively by Tandle, who flips it back to Luffman, and now Mynderse will reset. It's Prain with the ball on the far side hash mark. He drives left side. A lot of contact with Blue Eye. Kicks it out to Luffman. Into Plummer on the block. Baseline jumper. Swish.
Plummer on the board first time. I bet you he wasn't anticipating being a little bit of a baby jumper from about 10 feet out or so.
Nice touch from the big fella. Now it's Royston left open on the wing for 3, and he doesn't make Mynderse pay. Hillmeyer with a rebound again. Turns right up court. Whips it inside to Tandle. Lays it up and in. Tandle's on the board. Biggest lead of the game for Mynderse. They're up 8 now. 6 minutes to go, third period.
Just a great find. Whitman asleep on defense there on the transition and just able to find Tandle up court pretty much by himself.
Great look by Hillmeyer. Now a 3-2 zone for Mynderse as Whitman gets it around to the corner. Amadeo tries a 3. Good box out by Tandle. He turns and dribbles. Lofts it up ahead to Luffman. Left-handed layup is in, and the explosive Mynderse offense is woken up. Coach Prain off the bench to greet his team as they come in for the huddle as Coach O'Connor calls a timeout. 35-25, Paul.
Yeah, this was not the start of the second half that Whitman wanted. Obviously, though, Mynderse, right, there's the opposite side of things here. So if you're Mynderse, you could have asked for probably a better start to the second half. Extend that lead, double digits, first double-digit lead we've seen tonight on either side. Pushing at the 35-25 advantage here, and just a great job. Good defense, leaning to that offense like I mentioned, and that Luffman bucket there at the end, same thing almost in a way like the Tandle one before, just Whitman kind of losing him there on the back end on the transition and became relatively uncontested until he got right to the block.
And Whitman, with a couple open shots, Royston had an open look for 3, Amadeo had an open look for 3, both missed, both led to transition baskets the other way, so you know, Whitman caught sleeping a little bit after those misses, and Mynderse capitalizing. Now their biggest lead of the game for either team. They're up 10, 5:39 to go here, third period.
And here's the thing, like, don't get me wrong, great looks by both Royston and Amadeo on those shots, but early in the shot clock too on both of them after Royston went pretty much down to the wire on the first offensive possession for the Wildcats. So just one of those things where, like, in theory, yeah, they'll fall eventually, but you're kind of already running out of time for that in a way.
Yeah.
You know, so ultimately at the end of the day, for Marcus Whitman here, you need a bucket, not necessarily a 3 here, but you need a bucket in my mind to get that momentum shifted back your way.
Mynderse out of the timeout, showing full court pressure for the first time of the game as Whitman inbounds it. Now Storm dribbling across the timeline, guarded man-to-man by Hillmeyer. Works right side, kicks it to the corner to Amadeo, gets it back right away. Now back to the corner to Amadeo, thought about a 3, picks up his dribble up top to Pendergrass, whips it to Royston. Luffman went for the steal. Plummer got a hand on it and is back to Storms with 15 to shoot. He works the right side of the defense, finds Blue Eye, who drives, and he kind of got bailed out there, fell down hard. Can't tell if there was contact or not, but referee James Hawkins blew the whistle.
Yeah, definitely a trip there, and there was a Tandle with it. Probably could have gone against, take your pick of about 3 different Blue Devil defenders on that one, but definitely the right call, but one of those things, again, were just a hair delayed, in my opinion, on getting it out.
Second foul on Tandle. First free throw from Blue Eye's good, and finally Whitman on the board here, second half. Two-sport athlete in the winner here for Blue Eye. He also runs track as a rebounded, battled for off the miss by Tandle and Amadeo, and it went out of bounds on the baseline off of Tandle, so another opportunity for Whitman. As they find Pendergrass on the inbound up against Plummer, and Plummer just picked up his third foul. Pendergrass will head to the free throw line now for 2.
Actually, I don't think it's going to go against Plummer. I think they're going to get Luffman, who was the trail defender on that one. But if that's the case, either way, that's a big third foul.
Either way, it's going to be the third foul on either one of them. They still haven't posted it yet. As Pendergrass misses a free throw, he hasn't scored since that early first quarter three-pointer, and they did give it to Luffman, so 3 on Luffman. And Jack Brady checking in. as Luffman takes a seat. Pendergrass, second free throw, no good. Long rebound, battled for, tracked down by Hillmeyer. Hillmeyer's got quite a few rebounds here tonight. As up ahead come the Blue Devils. It's Prain with the ball in the right wing. And he lost it trying to drive. It's on the floor. Everybody's on the floor. Plummer comes up with it. Kiss with the left hand. When things get clogged in the lane, you call the Plummer.
Just
37-26.
Right spot, right time for him, and the way he ended up right at his feet, he took advantage. Royston launching a three.
And he misses. Hillmeyer bails for the rebound with Pendergrass. It's out of bounds to Mynderse. So 11-point lead. Those couple big missed free throws for Pendergrass there has allowed now Mynderse to extend that lead to double digits as Prain brings it across the timeline. 4:38 to go. Brady picks up his dribble, finds Tandle top of the key, reverses it to Prain, down to the block to Hillmeyer. Right hand, baby hook, no good.
Yeah, a lot of fans and players got wondering if Pendergrass had an offensive interference call there that didn't get called.
So now Whitman with the basketball. It's Royston guarded by Prain, working off a Pendergrass pick. Swings it at the corner to Storms, who drives, swings it back into Pendergrass. Can't get the shot to go with the right hand. Ice cold is Pendergrass tonight. Here comes Prain. Hillmeyer top of the key. Back to Prain. Mynderse will set things up. Coach Prain up off the bench calling out orders. Prain now probes the right side, flips it to Tandle, who loses it, gets it back, and finally does lose it. Here comes Storms the other way. Bounce pass. Royston. Right-handed layup is good. Great look by Amadeo to Royston.
That was just a very good job there. Whitman needed that bucket in about the worst way to get back on the board here in the second half.
And they've got it back under 10 now. Tandle finds Plummer top of the key. One dribble to Prain right side. Drives baseline. Met by Pendergrass. Back to Plummer. A couple dribbles. Bounce pass now to Hillmeyer. And a nifty little scoop and score for Hillmeyer, who has 6 on the game, and Mynderse back up 11 now, 3:13 to go.
Yeah, a little bit of finger roll a la George Gervin in that situation, coming off and creating some space.
I don't think any of these kids know who George Gervin is, but inside
not.
to Blue Eye, lays it up and in, and he's fouled by Plummer. Nice entry pass from Royston to Blue Eye, who was cutting baseline. Plummer didn't like the call, got him with the body. Now Blue Eye to the free throw line.
Yeah, so this is a big spot now for Mynderse. Palladino come in for Plummer. You got 2 of your starters, 2 of your better players in foul trouble here. Halfway, a little over halfway through the third.
Luffman and Plummer both with 3, both on the bench. As Blue Eye tries to complete the 3-point play, and he does. 4 points for Blue Eye all this quarter.
I'll say it.
It's a 10-point lead.
I'll say it because he may here, but free throws are going to matter down the stretch for Whitman in a big, big way. If these Mynderse players still end up in foul trouble, you're going to find yourself at the line more times than not now.
Prain dribbling top of the key, guarded closely by Blue Eye. It's an 8-point lead for the Blue Devils. Prain now takes a long jumper off the rim, no good. Brady tracks it down, saves it from going out of bounds, but into the hands of Amadeo. And now it's Storms bringing it across the timeline. 2:37 to go. Pendergrass into the corner for Royston. Royston, left-hand dribble on the far wing, guarded by man-to-man by Brady. Kicks it out to Storms now, opposite side in front of the Whitman bench. A lot of dribbling for Whitman. Now they find a corner 3 from Amadeo, who misses short. Palladino pulls it down. Outlets to Hillmeyer. Hillmeyer into the corner, wide open. Tandle, back iron, no good. Pendergrass skies for the rebound. 2:05 to go, third period. 39-31. Blue Devils lead. As it's Amadeo finding Royston top of the key. Guarded man-to-man by Prain. Palladino now on Pendergrass. Back to Royston. Royston finds Blue Eye, lets one fly. Back iron, no good. Rebound by Royston. Now an open 3 off the rebound. It's Storms knocking it down. He's got 6. Both buckets 3-pointers, and Whitman's got it back to within 5 here. 1:30 to go, third period. Prain.
That's the type of possession that Whitman had in the first quarter that they were able to capitalize a ton off of.
Prain into the corner to Tandle, back to Prain. Up top to Hillmeyer, between the legs, dribbling with the right hands, kicks it out to Prain. Prain in traffic finds Hillmeyer open for 3. Yes!
Oh.
From the corner, a little rainbow comes right down. Didn't even touch the cylinder for Hillmeyer, and he's got 9. Lead back to 10. Big shot
That's a huge answer.
Step back three from Royston, yes!
Oh. All right. So how about that then? Royston with the answer as well right back. So just airspace there for Royston in that situation. So great shot selection by him.
18 points for Royston to lead all scorers. 5-point lead for Mynderse with the basketball. 38 seconds left in the half, 20 to shoot. Brady on the wing, drives, out of control, throws it away. It Storms with a steal. And Whitman can hold for one. Shot clock's off. Into the corner it goes to Royston. He looked up at the clock,
I think,
and now he's pulling it back
I
out.
think he was kind of surprised. I don't know if there was an issue necessarily, but there probably should be a shot clock as well right now, just based on where the time was.
He pulled it way back out to the scorer's table. He's still dribbling on the perimeter. 10 seconds now to go in the quarter. He's still out by the shot clock, or by the scorer's table with Prain. Now he drives. Storms tries a three from the corner, high off the back iron. It's time for the rebound. It's out of bounds, and that'll do it at the end of 3 quarters to play. We got a good one in Seneca Falls. Mynderse 42, Whitman 37. 8 minutes of basketball left here in Seneca Falls.
Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD. Visit them online at canandaiguadentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. Generations Bank. Generations Bank, serving our communities since 1870. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
And welcome back to our thorough Baker Gymnasium, Mynderse Academy. Jim Sinicropi here with Paul Russo here, FingerLakes1.com. Thanks for tuning in here, just 1 week from Christmas. Hope your shopping's done. Probably planning some of those holiday parties. Hope you're tuning in here tonight with us because we got a good one. Mynderse with a 5-point lead heading into the final quarter.
Yeah, this is kind of lived up now to what we had both had hoped for this game to be. And it's still all to be decided. You know, the last couple minutes there of the quarter end up being a nice little momentum grab for Whitman in a way. They are not able to grab it fully, but, you know, he chopped the lead from at one point up to 10.
I think it was 11.
5. Oh, yeah, 11. So, I mean, this is a huge spot. Mynderse with the ball to start. Let's see if Whitman can get another defensive stop.
It's Luffman, Hillmeyer, Prain, Palladino, and looks like for the first time tonight we're going to see Braden Seminary. Is that who's that?
Seminary, yep.
Yeah, Seminary's in the ballgame for the first time as Luffman drives. Had a shot bothered by Pendergrass, went out of bounds, might stay with Mynderse, didn't hit the rim, so just 14 seconds to shoot.
Yeah, I think it went off of, I believe, Blue Eye. Just none of the Whitman rebounders could kind of get a grip on it. And Luffman's up, so everybody's good to go down there.
So Plummer with the 3 fouls on the bench, Luffman with the 3 fouls in the game, and as I mentioned, Seminary in the game for the first time tonight. As Mynderse takes over, 10 seconds to shoot. It is Luffman on the right side with a couple of step fakes. He drives right side and he's fouled by Storms. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Yeah,
Storms just, unfortunately, when Luffman went up, just kind of continued with him as opposed to just more or less staying put. It just was a tough shot there by Luffman that put up, so we'll go and see if he can get a couple points at the line here.
He squares up and lets go and gets the first one. So he's got 11 points on the ball game now, and also 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Try to make it 6 of 7 here and extend the Blue Devil lead to 7. It's short, well short. Hillmeyer got a hand on it, but it comes out to Royston, and Whitman's on the move. Now they pull it back out to Storms. As Storms drives right side, and it looks like Luffman may have just picked up foul number 4.
Nah, I think that's going to be Hillmeyer with a hand check, actually. Yep, Hillmeyer.
So that's just 2 on Griffin Hillmeyer. And Whitman will get a fresh shot clock with 7:20 to go here in the ball game. They trail by 6. Royston right side to Storms. Amadeo cuts. And they find Royston top of the key. Now Blue Eye in the paint, in traffic, can't get it to go. Rebound battled for, pulled down by Prain. He dribbles out of a double team, and up court he comes into Rocco Palladino for a corner 3. Yes!
maybe it's just the corner spot for him or something, but I tell you what, he's found some sort of range tonight, and a big three by Rocco.
Lead up to 9 now as they let Royston go left side. Luffman not wanting to pick up that fourth foul, kind of let him go. He lays it in, and Royston now has 20. And the lead down to 7. 6:30 to go here. Finger Lakes East battle, pre-Christmas league game. As Seminary tries to drive baseline, now it's out to Prane. Couple dribbles with the right hand, picks up, finds Palladino, let's go top of the key. This one's too strong, and rebound battled for, and it looks like Seminary may have fouled Pendergrass on that rebound. So it'll be Whitman ball.
Oh no, they're calling Hillmeyer with it.
Oh wow, 2 quick fouls for Hillmeyer.
So that's going to be his third as well. So Luffman, Hillmeyer, and Plummer all with 3 now.
6:10 to go in the ball game, 46-39, Minders lead. Royston walks it across. He's guarded man-to-man. And now they reverse it to the corner to Amadeo. Now it's Pendergrass top of the key working on Palladino's. Whips it to the corner to Storms. Storms finds Pendergrass on the block again. Back to Storms. No look to Blue Eye. Drives baseline, and Blue Eye throws it away. Here comes Luffman. Left hand behind the back in the lane. Hangs, blocked by Royston. And it's going to be Whitman ball.
Yeah, just a good defensive stop there by Royston with the block. Plummer comes back in for Minders here, but, you know, that's one of those spots, too, where it's, okay, we're going to have a Whitman timeout, looks like.
Yeah, looks like a 30-second
But, you know,
timeout, Coach
defensively,
O'Connor.
you know, Blue Eye just got to throw it right into Luffman's right in the breadbasket, more or less. Yep. And it's a great job, Whitman, to transition defense back. We noted, you know, especially in that third quarter, they struggled with it a little bit, but in that situation really stepped up to the plate there, and good defense there. It's going to lead to a possession here. Down 7, crucial spot in the game. Keep you within that shouting distance where anything's possible.
Coach O'Connor certainly drawing up a play here, trying to get a bucket on this possession. As you mentioned, Plummer also checking back into the game for Seminary for Minders. We'll see if he comes out of the timeout as well. I imagine he would. And with 5:40 left to go in the ball game, it will be Whitman's ball, and they're coming back with Storms, Amadeo, Blue Eye, Royston, and Pendergrass. For Minders, it'll be Plummer, Palladino, Prane, Hillmeyer, and Luffman. Again, Luffman, Hillmeyer, and Plummer all with 3 fouls. Blue Eye with 3 fouls for Whitman as Royston brings it across midcourt, and the Wildcats get to work against a 3-2 zone for Minders as Pendergrass at the foul line. Bounce pass to Blue Eye.
Oh, wow.
Up and in, and the foul. That'll be 4 on Pendergrass. Didn't think there was going to be enough room for him to get that up and over the rim.
I mean, threw a little English on that one as well. He had to there. Just a great job by Blue Eye going amongst the trees there, and Plummer's going to pick up a big 4th foul for Minders.
Blue Eye free throw rattles around and in. So Blue Eye now with 7, and it's a 4-point game. Whitman has not been this close since the halftime break. Prane with the basketball, right side to Luffman. Man-to-man defense from the Wildcats. Now up top to Palladino. Palladino, bounce pass left wing to Prane. Prane bothered a little bit by Amadeo. Now Plummer works against Pendergrass, drives, left-hand layup, no good. May have took steps too, but no call. Rebound Whitman. And now Royston walks it across the timeline. Playing catch with Storms in front of Coach O'Connor and the Whitman bench. Now to the elbow to Pendergrass. One dribble, takes it to the hole, over the front of the rim and in. And Plummer had to be careful there, kind of let him have the shot. And that's Miles Pendergrass' first bucket since early in the contest. 2-point game. Minders lead, Minders basketball. Prane probes the baseline and goes up in traffic, misses the layup, but fouled. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, we got Pendergrass there with the on the arm foul there. So I believe that's his.
Should be just 2 on Pendergrass.
Yeah, so, but yeah, great job by Miles down here on offense, because I don't know if he planned it for that way, but next to him on the other side was Hillmeyer, so you know it was going to be a bit of an easier attempt there.
So Prane buries the first free throw. His first points of the second half. He had 25 points in the second half against School of the Arts.
Yeah. Tandle just checked in for Plummer as well.
As Prane knocks down both free throws, he's got 9 points on the ball game. Lead back up to 4 for the Blue Devils. 4:30 to go in the ball game. Royston now sets up the offense, guarded man-to-man by Luffman. Dribbles to the right wing, spins and finds Storm's top of the key. Storm's working off a Pendergrass pick to the wing to Royston. Almost lost it, got it back. Drives, hangs, and offensive foul! It was Tandle stepping in. And it'll go back to Mynderse. And that'll be the third foul on Brody Royston.
Yeah, he extended the arm there on that one, so that's an easy offensive foul call.
3 team fouls for both teams. Remember, when they get to 5, they'll be shooting 2. 4:04 to go in the ball game. Mynderse up 4 with the basketball. And Coach Prane wants to talk it over, and we got a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good timeout. He's going to take a full timeout, so we're pretty much halfway through the quarter, obviously with 4:01 to go. And if you're Mynderse here in particular, you got your, 3 of your bigger guys are in foul trouble here. So, and the way the game flow has been, and as it stands right now, you can't necessarily pull them out of the game either. So I think this is a really good job. If anything, you're just giving them a bit of a breather here. It's a full timeout, full minute of just rest. Set some stuff up here. The key thing, he's probably telling them even more so anything else than any particular player or anything. It's like, just be smart. If they end up getting to you, obviously put up some type of fight. But if push comes to shove, just let them go, live the fight another possession.
Stay with us after the conclusion of this game for the Little John and Barbie Smiles with Style post-game show, where we'll have a conversation with our player of the game. Still too early to talk about who we'll be talking to, but some candidates, if their team's able to pull out the win, would be Brody Royston. He's got 20 points now with 4 minutes to go in the ball game for Whitman. For Mynderse, Anthony Luffman with 11, Jake Prane with 9. Leading the way, also Griffin Hillmeyer with 9. So Rocco Palladino with 7 off the bench. So Mynderse really mixing it up here. Jack Brady with 6, Alan Plummer with 4. And it will be Mynderse basketball out of the timeout. It'll be Tandle inbounding right in front of Coach O'Connor, and he flips it to the backcourt to Prane, who's picked up full court by Amadeo. Now bounce pass to Hillmeyer in the corner to Palladino on the block. Try to bounce pass across the lane. It was picked off by Blue Eye. And now Whitman with a chance with 3:45 to go to cut into this 4-point Mynderse lead. Points have been at a premium here in the final period as Royston into the lane, lost it, stripped by Luffman behind the back. He's going coast to coast, hangs in. A blocking foul on Malcolm Blue Eye. That'll be 4 on Blue Eye. 2 free throws coming for Luffman, and he's not the guy you want to send to the free throw line. He is, let's see where we got 5 for 7 on the contest. He heads back for a couple more.
Yeah, right idea by Blue Eye, but again, kind of a case that we've seen a couple of different times tonight now play out. Just got to the spot a bit too late. So one of those deals, I think Luffman was probably already even in the air. And they'll just get you every time for that.
And Luffman makes another free throw. He's now got 12, and the lead's up to 5. Kind of quiet crowd here tonight for a close contest here.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, too, because I look out amongst them. There's a lot of alumni from Mynderse here, as well as Whitman, to be fair.
So Mynderse, after the second Luffman free throw, is now back up 6. 3:25 to go. As Pendergrass controls in the corner, guarded man-to-man by Palladino. Up top it goes to Amadeo. Amadeo looks to drive, kicks it to Blue Eye. Back to Amadeo at the free throw line. Now Pendergrass on the wing. Whips it over to Storm, who drives, kicks it to Pendergrass. Pendergrass looks to drive, but Palladino on him. Storm's now switching is Palladino, and out top it goes to Amadeo, who drives with 4 seconds to shoot, throws one up, no good, didn't hit the rim, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. But before the shot clock violation, I think Amadeo was on the baseline. So back to Mynderse, Plummer in for Palladino with those 4 fouls.
Yeah, just great hustle there by Amadeo after missing the layup. But yeah, just I think he was looking for a foul there, but I don't know. He kind of went in there a little bit uncontrolled, so that's a tough one to call through. Try and hunt for one.
6-point Mynderse lead inside 3 minutes. It's Prane and Luffman. Prane threw it to Luffman, lost it, and Storms comes up with a steal. So kind of an unforced turnover there as Mynderse was just trying to set up the offense.
And Coach O'Connor telling them to push it here, and now they're going to get it going as they get above half court.
Bounce pass on the backdoor cut to Pendergrass. Didn't find the mark, and it's out of bounds back to Mynderse. So turnovers killing Whitman here in the fourth quarter. They trail by 6, and Jake Prane walking it up. It's Prane, Luffman, Hillmeyer, Plummer, and Tandle for the Blue Devils. Prane takes it right to the bucket, but sent packing by Pendergrass.
Huge block. It's now the second time tonight he's had one in that nature anyway. I believe that's actually his third total block, though, but I'll tell you what, he's probably going to get a little bit lucky, too, because they probably could have got him with that underneath foul that they call every now and then. But either way, great defensive stop.
Inbound to Hillmeyer, up top to Luffman now. 25 to shoot, 2:20 left in the ball game. Mynderse by 6. Luffman right side, pulls up for the baseline jumper, no good. Fights for the rebound, taps it to Plummer, who misses the putback over the front of the rim. It just rolled off, and we got a foul.
That's going to be on Blue Eye, his 5th.
So Blue Eye picks up.
And these are the ones that are tough to swallow because, don't get me wrong, that was a foul. It's a good call in the foul situation, but it's the timing element of it. Like, Whitman had the ball off the rebound already by the time it was whistled. So those ones are just the toughest ones to swallow.
And Coach O'Connor talking it over with referee James Hawkins, not agreeing with the call. And up off the bench, it's going to be Caden Smith as Blue Eye's night is complete. He heads to the bench with 7 points all in the second half. And his team down 6. And Alan Plummer to the free throw line to try to extend this Mynderse lead with 2:13 remaining. That's also the 15th foul on Whitman. So every foul from here on out will be 2 free throws. Plummer misses the first badly.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how Alan does at the line, but if he's like me, which I kind of get the vibe that he is, it's probably never a fun trip when you get to the stripe.
Yeah, second one not too good either. Hillmeyer, though, tried to keep the rebound alive, but eventually into the hands of Royston. Here comes Whitman. They could use a bucket down 6. We're at 2 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Royston now kicks it wide open. Smith squares up, and it's an air ball, but Pendergrass right there, wide open, put back, too strong. Stolen by Royston. He puts it back up and no good. So, boy, cold shooting by Whitman is now Prane dribbling between defenders in the backcourt, and we got a timeout on the court, 50-44. So Mynderse fortunate there. A wide open three-pointer by Smith was an air ball right into the hands of Pendergrass, who missed a point-blank layup.
Almost like he was expecting there to be contact or something, just the way it was, because he put it up really, really hard. So I'm guessing, like I said, he was just anticipating the contact. There was just nobody really near him. They gave him the airspace to, mainly because Alan Plummer was the closest one there. So obviously with 4 fouls, he's just not even going to bother in that situation. So Coach Prane took a 30-second timeout by my count. He's got 3 fulls left. Coach O'Connor's got 2 fulls and a 30, I believe. Here is where we got 1:46 to go in regulation.
And Mynderse, that lead stuck at 6. And they'll come out of the timeout with the basketball here. Also unfortunate for Coach O'Connor in this situation, Tarico Blue Eye, Malcolm, whose brother, out for the season, had surgery. So the depth of Whitman's bench really strained with the loss of Tarico. Full court pressure from Whitman is no problem for Mynderse as they get it across. Now Prane will set things up top of the key with 1:33 to go. He works the right side, guarded by Royston. Bounce pass to Hillmeyer, now to Luffman on the opposite wing. Luffman, give and go to Hillmeyer, lays it up and in. Beautiful play by the Blue Devils. Their lead is now up to 8.
Yeah, after Whitman here, now you got pushed, and now they're kind of going to get going here.
Royston drives, hangs, hits. Big bucket by Royston to keep the Whitman alive here. 1:07 to go, full court pressure now. Luffman looking inbound, finds Hillmeyer, back to Luffman. And back to Hillmeyer, they get it across. Now Hillmeyer should pull it back, and he does. It's Luffman now, tries to dribble between 2 Whitman defenders, ball on the ground. We got a jump ball. Can't see the arrow from where we are, but referee James Hawkins is signaling it will come back to Whitman. So out of control there, Mynderse, no need to rush. Luffman tried to dribble between a double team.
I would say it was borderline a triple team even. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, they did a really good job on the front end of breaking the press. Just when it came down to it, they kind of put themselves not quite in a corner, but working themselves towards the sideline. Never a good thing.
Whitman down 6. Royston throws it away, and it's out of bounds, and it's Mynderse ball. So just sloppy basketball on both ends of the court here towards the end of this game, and now Mynderse should be in no hurry. 42 seconds left. Full court pressure from Whitman down 6.
They got to push the pressure up here, though, a little bit. They're giving too much airspace.
They got to get it across. They do. Prain now behind the back tries to set it up, and they're going to have to foul.
Yeah.
So 31.6 left in the game. Shot clock will be off the rest of the way, and Jake Prain heading to the free throw line for 2 as Logan Storms picks up his 3rd foul. And 1 free throw here from Prain does make it a 3-possession game. Again, he's shooting 2, remember, with the new rule. So first one's up and in. And he's in double digits with 10 points. 5 of those coming from the free throw line. Spins and squares and shoots and hits both of them. Couple of big free throws to extend the lead to 8. Whitman has to hurry into the corner to Storms. He's holding it. There's no time.
You got to launch here. Next shot available.
Inside to Pendergrass. Bounce pass to Smith. Steps back for 3. It's an air ball and rebounded by Plummer. Out to Prain. He's going to head back to the free throw line, I imagine, after Storms picks up his 3rd foul. So Pendergrass there had a point-blank layup and kicked it out for 3 to Smith. If it's me, take the 2 points.
Yeah, I understand it, right, because you're down by 8, and you, in theory, in your mind, it says you have to get the more points, but it's one of those cases you have to recognize just where you are on the court, just take that shot.
So Prain with a couple more dribbles, trying to close this game out for Mynderse with 16.5 left. Hits another one. That's 3 in a row, or excuse me, that was actually, going back to the first quarter, that is 6 in a row for Prain. And make it 7. And back to 10 points for Mynderse with 16 seconds left. Timeout on the court for the Blue Devils. And so now, Paul, I guess it's time to have a realistic conversation about who might be our little John and Barbie orthodontics player of the game here. Our Cicino's Pizzeria player of the game on the Little John and Barbie Smiles with Style postgame show.
Well, I feel like it probably should now. Anthony Luffman or Jake Prain. I feel like they both got really good cases each.
Prain's got 13, so does Luffman. Griffin Hillmeyer having a good game with 11, so might have to have a or even tri-players of the game here if Mynderse can close this out. A lot of the Mynderse students are heading out here. It's just past 9 o'clock. As Mynderse looking to close out this win and go to 4-1, evening up their league record at 1-1 ahead of Thursday night's game at Newark. And Mynderse still in their timeout. Whitman on the court. It's going to be, they're going to have to go 90 feet. They get it into Royston, who dribbles by Hillmeyer, kicks to the corner, 3-ball from Storms. Yes!
Hey.
10 seconds, 8 seconds. Mynderse inbounds, and that might be it, as it looks like Whitman's going to let the clock run out. Your final score, Mynderse 56, Whitman 49. Whitman falls to 1-2 in league, 3-3 overall. Mynderse improves to 4-1 overall, 1-1 in league. We are going to step aside when we come back. It will be the Little John and Barbie Smiles with Style post-game show here on Finger Lakes One. We'll talk to a couple of the Blue Devils. And once again, your final score from Seneca Falls, Mynderse 56, Whitman 49. Keep it right here, post-game show straight ahead.
Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Order online at cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. DeSanto Propane. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Rosselli Northern, supporting local construction since 1929 with premium products and quality service. Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD. Visit them online at CanandaiguaDentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. Generations Bank. Generations Bank, serving our communities since 1870. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
And welcome back inside Arthur Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls. Once again, your final score, Mynderse 56, Marcus Whitman 49. Big win for the Blue Devils ahead of Thursday night's matchup in Newark. So it's a little John and Barbie Smiles with Style post-game show here on FingerLakes1.com. Jim Sinicropi and Paul Russo here with you. We're going to have Anthony Luffman, Jake Prain, and Griffin Hillmeyer with us shortly. They're in the locker room now, but they'll come out to talk to us about tonight's win and maybe a look ahead to Newark on Thursday. But entertaining ball game tonight. Whitman jumped out to an early lead. Mynderse outscored them 19-11 in the second half to take a 3-point lead into halftime. Pretty even game the rest of the way until Mynderse was able to pull away early fourth quarter. Jake Prain free throws kind of sealed it. And in the end, I think a lot of turnovers from Whitman really would doom the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, I want to go back to something that you said in the first quarter, Jim, is like, this Mynderse team gets a little while to really get going a little bit. And you saw that tonight kind of in full effect, to be completely honest. And, to win these games, it's all about capitalization and taking what you get and when you can get it. And the Blue Devils simply just did better tonight than Whitman. It's one of those things where, you come out of that first quarter, like we said, Mynderse had every opportunity in the world to probably remain down the whole game, and they just didn't. They persevered right on through, snatched that momentum in the second quarter, and really didn't give it up until, the final horn blew at the end.
Run through the scoring here while we wait for the Blue Devils to join us here at our broadcast booth. Brody Royston leading all scorers with 22 points for Whitman, 9 points for Logan Storms. Malcolm Blue Eye with 7, 6 for Braden Amadeo, and 5 for Pendergrass. And that was really a situation, especially with Plummer in foul trouble. Pendergrass not really able to take care of, provide some scoring for Coach O'Connor. For Mynderse, Luffman and Prain led the way with 13 apiece. Hillmeyer with 11. Jack Brady with 6 off the bench. Dylan Tandle with 2. Rocco Palladino with 7 points. And Alan Plummer with 4. As we got the 3 of the Blue Devils. Come on in here, fellas. We got Anthony Luffman, Jake Prain, Griffin Hillmeyer. Guys, congratulations on a good win. Got off to a hot start, Anthony, in the first half with 5 points in the first quarter, 7 overall, ended up with 13. You guys like to get out in transition, right?
Yeah,
defense leading to offense?
Yeah, that's what we work on in practice is transition buckets. So,
what do you think of your coach, Jake?
Coach, he's, he can be kind of mean sometimes, but, good coach.
He's a state champ. Did you know that?
State champ, yep.
Yep. They won 1992, long time ago, though. He's getting old.
Yep.
I think those games were in black and white back then. But great game. You step up to the free throw line, kind of sealed it, knocking down 2, 4, 6 straight free throws in the fourth quarter, finishing with 13. Did you feel some pressure from that? You guys were a little sloppy, I guess, against that Whitman defense, but able to capitalize with some turnovers of your own.
Yep. When we started off, it was a big thing in the locker room during halftime. We got to cut down on turnovers. We weren't being careful with the ball, and then we talked about it, got together, and came out on top.
And Griffin, you finished with 11 points. Looks like 7 of them in the second half, and some nifty moves down low. So you're kind of inside out. You're like a stretch 4 for these guys, right?
I guess so.
Could kind of do it all inside out?
Yeah, we work on everything in practice. Coach puts me all over the place. I'm ready to go anywhere, play hard for my teammates.
You got any questions for these guys, Paul?
How about the guys behind you? You guys got the whole crowd with you today. I guess my main question, though, is really because I think it's easy for us. We're local enough and see, but what's it like kind of all playing together? You guys grew up together mostly, playing together, and now to get to this point at this time, what's it like kind of just the group mentality and playing with each other on this stage?
Hey, this is what we've been working for our whole life. We've been playing together since we were 5th, 6th grade. You know, we want to, the last couple of years we've had a rough year, especially last year, so we just want to come out and make a statement in Finger Lakes East. We're a team that needs to be messed with.
And this team, every day in practice, it's hard no matter what. It's never messed around. Everything's hard. Like, this is the team. We got chemistry. Like, it's going together.
Yeah, you guys can really get it going offensively. That huge 52 points in the second half in the game against School of the Arts. So, yeah, it's kind of hot and cold for you guys, and when it gets hot, it's pretty entertaining. So Newark's coming up on Thursday. I think they're the #1 team in our power rankings at Finger Lakes 1. I think they're the favorites to win the league. You got to go to their home court day before Christmas break. Any thoughts about the game coming up?
They're a really tough team, obviously, so in the smaller practice, we really got to work and prepare for Newark because they're good.
Yeah. Hey, what do you know about Newark?
We know, Kellen Foster, we're worried about him, but they've got a couple of young kids this year who are really stepping up to the plate. So we just got to stay together, play our game, definitely cut down on turnovers and fouls, but we can beat them. Yeah. But as long as we play our best.
Got to play defense. Tough team, but got to come out hard.
Griff, what do you think about Jack Brady coming off the bench? Now, he's moved into the district. You know, he's the son of a former Mynderse legend, point guard John Brady. Again, from back in the black and white era. But what's he bringing to the team coming off the bench?
Buckets. Straight buckets is what Jack Brady brings to this team. He's always here for everybody in practice, always cheering on the bench. When he's in, getting huge minutes for us. He's a dog. What else can you say about him?
Jack Brady is a dog.
Love it. Really spark off the bench, too. He hit shots.
And Palladino, a pretty good offense there from the baseline, huh? Some rainbows?
Yeah, my teammates did a good job of finding me open, and I knocked it down, and yeah.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. You got to get to school tomorrow morning and then to Newark on Thursday. Have a good practice tomorrow. Good luck against Newark. We'll be checking it out in big game in the Finger Lakes East. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you. You too.
All right, see ya.
Good job, guys.
Man, it's kind of early in the season to get the whole team over, but
that is so great to see because, look, I kind of mentioned it a little bit, right? They've been playing together a while, but to have the whole team come out when, we just planned on having 3 of them over, but the whole team came out, hyping each other up. That's the type of mentality that from a coaching perspective as well as amongst themselves, you want to see at this stage in the season because what that tells me, if they're melding and molding together right now like that, who knows what it might be like in another month or 2.
Yeah, I tell you, Paulie, there is some chemistry there, and we'll see how they hold up against the elite team, maybe, perhaps, or one of the elite teams.
Yeah.
We can't forget about Wayne. Geneva's look strong, but see how Mynderse can compete at top of the Finger Lakes East on Thursday night when they head to Newark. For Marcus Whitman, it'll be Waterloo on Friday at the Tuck Gymnasium in Rushville. And another Finger Lakes East game, and we're gonna have some fun checking out this league this year over the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, it's always usually one of, if not, the most competitive of, the collective 6 leagues that we get to really cover. And, a game like tonight really makes you wonder, I kind of talked about it a little bit, with you, right? Maybe, one of these teams in that quote-unquote B tier, whatever you want to call it, makes that run. And after a game like tonight, does Mynderse capitalize on that and become that B to jump to that A where we're talking about with your Newark and Wayne and Paul Mac and Geneva? I think a performance like tonight, they do that again, they got a pretty good case to join them.
So that'll about do it here for high school basketball on Finger Lakes 1 on a Tuesday night. Just to recap real quickly, it was Brody Royston with 22 points to lead all scorers. And for Mynderse, a balanced attack with Luffman and Prain 13 apiece. Griffin Hillmeyer with 11, Palladino with 7, Jack Brady with 6, and Alan Plummer 4, Dylan Tandle 2. Whitman jumped out to a 14-9 first quarter lead, but by halftime, Mynderse had that raced the lead and built a 3-point lead of their own, 28-25 heading into break. Teams were fairly even in the third quarter. Mynderse taking a 5-point lead into the final quarter. where Whitman was able to get it down to 4 in the fourth period, but in the end of the day, Jake Prain going 6 for 6 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter, along with Anthony Luffman 3 for 4. Make free throws like that down the stretch, nobody's going to beat you, right?
Free throws matter, right? I mean, they're the easy. Well, I can't say they're the easiest. I'm not the one to talk to about that, but they're one of the easiest buckets to get.
So once again, your final score 56-49. Merry Christmas, everybody. I think that we'll be back with the Upstate Hoops podcast after the new year, but we will release a power rankings to see how Mynderse fares in the next power rankings, which will be released the day after Christmas next Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul, enjoyed calling the game with you here.
Yeah, it was a blast, Jim. Really appreciate it. And, just a little note, too. I know our next scheduled broadcast isn't until after break, but we'll look at the schedule next week if one really pops our eye. I know it's a little bit tougher next week. But
I kind of want to go to Newark on Thursday night now.
I do, too. But unfortunately for me, I got a date up at the JMA Dome, so
It's a big day for Syracuse fans on Thursday night. Got the basketball team at 5 and then the Boca Raton Bowl at 8. So, and Mynderse at Newark. So definitely some good games coming up over the holiday break. Once again, your final score is Mynderse 56, Marcus Whitman 49. For Paul Russo, I'm Jim Sinicropi. Happy holidays, everybody, and have a great night.